today I'm going to be filming a get ready with me video on this look. This is kind of a Gigi Hadid inspired look because there's a lot of strobing and highlighting. This is also kind of a strobing tutorial. And now I'm gonna prime my eyelids with Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. After I rub this in, I'm gonna take my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. I'm gonna be using my Vice 4 palette from Urban Decay, and I'm gonna be taking the nude shade in the palette, which is called Framed. I'm just taking this to set the primer and just spreading this all over the lid. After I do that, I'm gonna be starting with this Vice 4 brush. I'm gonna be taking my Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray, Oil Control, and I'm gonna be spraying the Vice 4 brush to wet it. After that, I'm gonna be dipping this in Flame, an orangey color with gold undertones. I'm just pressing that in. Now I'm just putting this on my lid, dipping my brush again to get more of this orangey color. I'm just using more and more pigment until it gets as dark as I'd like it. Then going in with the other side of this brush, just blending a little bit. Ultra Pearl Mania in this bronzy gold shade, tapping off the extra and then dipping it in here. You can see there's a lot on my brush. Tap it off into the cap again, so I'm not using too much. And then I'm gonna take this and place it then I'm gonna go back in, dipping it in, putting it in the other eye. It's okay if you have fallout because we will clean that up. This is a very bronzy gold, as I said before. And you can see there's a lot right here. I'm just gonna take my finger and pat it to get all the extra off. Then I'm gonna dip this brush back in the orange color that we started with originally. And I'm just placing this in the corner. Just darkening the corner with what's already on my brush. So now you can see we have this darker color and the lighter color. Just gonna be using this brush to blend them a little bit. Back in with this fluffy brush. Just blending a little bit. As you can tell, the glitter part kind of came off. So I'm going to be going back in with a different eyeshadow primer. And this is called the NYX Lid Lacquer. Because this is just, it's more fit for like glitters. I'm going to go back in to the cap again. You don't need to wipe your brush because of the lid lacquer we just put on. Now, I'm going to be going into a different palette. This is the Profusion Shimmer palette. And I'm gonna, these don't have names on them, but I'm gonna be using one of these first of 3 colors in this orange with the same brush. Putting that in the corner to kind of like darken the orangish part of the eyeshadow. After this, I'm gonna be going back into the same palette. I'm gonna be using a little bit of a nude color called Framed as a little more of a transition color with the blending side of the vice brush. Wiping it off first on my hand. We're gonna do more of a transition color after this, but this is just to start it. This is also kind of blending the colors that we already have down. Then I'm going to be taking this color called Bitter. So I'm starting by putting it in the corner, but kind of above the corner, like in the crease. And blending. Getting more on my brush. Starting like this. And putting it directly in the crease. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm then going to be using the gold shade. This one's a little yellower of a gold instead of like the copper. I'm going to be putting that over in the corner. Then blending, mixing these colors. After that, I'm going to be taking my the e.l.f. small angle brush. Now I'm going to be taking this chocolatey brown shade called Delete with this angled brush. And I'm gonna be starting our cut crease. I'm gonna be starting by the corner of my eye, using this part of the brush. And putting this in the crease and going this way. And this is very light, you can barely see it. So I'm going to be darkening it. Just darkening it again. Going in with this brush after cleaning it off. Blending a little bit. We don't want to blend too much because then the cut crease kind of goes away. Then I'm not going to be using eyeliner in this look. I'm actually going to be using eyeshadow. I'm going to take this black shade in the palette called Deadbeat. It's the darkest color. Using this angle brush. Starting where I would make my wing. Pulling this back over here. Putting this where I would place an eyeliner. You're gonna continue darkening it. going to be doing it on the other eye, and then I'm going to be going back in with a matte black color. Because this is more of a black sparkly color. Going in with this palette again, and the black shade. It looks kind of lighter in the camera, but it's actually pretty black. I'm going to be darkening this again. I'm going to come back after this is cleaned up a little bit. As you can see, I wiped away most of the fallout. Then going back to the NYX pigment. And if you guys are looking to buy a palette, I do recommend the Vice 4. It has 20 colors, and I got it for my birthday, and it's the first expensive palette I've had. And I really do recommend it. The eyes are pretty much done, except for the highlight colors switching off. Then for our inner corner, I'm going to use my little high beam from Benefit for my inner corner. The highlight shade from the Vice 4 palette. The name of this is Bones. And then I'm just setting the high beam with this. So this is the finished eye look. I'm actually going to be taking the same Bones color with my finger and putting this in the waterline a little bit to kind of highlight and open up our eyes. This sample from Sephora that I got with my Sephora rewards called the Belief, the True Cream Moisturizing Balm. Then I like to rub my hands together and put this all over my face. Clinique Repair Intensive Eye Cream. Just putting it underneath. So the first thing I'm going to do after that, I'm going to be taking my L'Oreal Paris Magic Lumi. This is how it comes, and it has a pump. And this is going to help us get our like shiny face, because we want a very highlighted glowy face, kind of like the Gigi Hadid look. And this is just a very shiny primer. I'm going to be taking my Age Rewind. This is in Honey Meal. And I've seen a lot of people use this as concealer. You don't need a lot of this. I'm just using it. You can see it's kind of darker. This isn't really for highlighting. And I'm wetting my beauty blender to blend this in. It's just to kind of help with the under eye circles. For the foundation today, this is a sample from my Birchbox. It's the Marcel BB Cream Golden Glow Skin Enhancer. Kind of like a BB cream, but it's pretty full coverage, and there's only one shade of this. And as you can see with it on my hand, it's kind of like an olivey color, but once it's on the skin, even though it's a little darker and more olive than my skin tone, once it's on my skin, It gives a nice golden glow and it makes you very tan, but it blends in and it doesn't look too dark. So I'm going to be using this stippling brush to get this on my face. Just applying this with the stippling brush. I'm going to be blending this with my beauty blender. This is just to get it all over my face. Also, if you guys recommend any new foundations, please tell me because I'm kind of looking for a new one. Dampening this, and then I'm gonna be blending it. This is kind of a little lighter coverage than I wanted because there wasn't that much left actually. But you can build it up. I'm then going to be using my NYX Wonder Stick in the shade, it's the Highlight and Contour, and it's in the shade Universal. Using this under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, up here, in the Cupid's bow, and under the chin. Then going back in with my beauty blender. Blending this all out. I'm not going to be contouring too much today, but I am going to be using this to contour. Don't remember what this is, but it's kind of like a highlighting bronzer. Now I'm going to be taking this bronzer that I was just talking about with a fluffy brush, blush brush from Earth Sensuals. Making like the fish face to see my cheekbone. Going along the side of my face. To bronze it up and doing the other side too. Then doing it on the nose. And our temples, and a little bit of our forehead. Putting a little bit of this now on my cheeks, because we're not going to be using blush with this look. I'm going to be going back in with the high beam. But before I do that, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 130 Buff Beige. Using this kind of like pad thing, I guess, that it comes with, just to set everything so far. Like I said, I'm gonna be using the high beam. Putting some on the top of my cheekbones. Down my nose, up here. Cupid's bow, under my chin, kind of where I put the highlight stick. You're going to be dabbing very lightly because you want to get a very glowy look. Then I'm going to be using my finger for the nose part, because I want it to be very glowy, especially for here. You want to use your finger, but you can use the beauty blender just a tiny bit to kind of wipe off the extra product. Then I'm also taking my Vice 4 palette again and using the Highlight Bones shade right here just to highlight a little more. Blending that in. Just using this double-sided brush from Forever 21. I'm going to be curling my lashes with this Revlon Blinged eyelash curler. I don't know the actual name. Let me see if I can find it, but if I can find a link in the name, I will put it below. And this is from Ulta. So I'm curling my eyelashes. Just curling the other eye, making sure, just going back, especially in the inner corner. Then I'm going to be going in with my Benefit Roller Lash. This is actually a sample size from Birchbox. I really did like getting Birchbox because I had it as a present. And I really did like it, but I don't know if I would get it again because most of the samples were pretty small, and I've seen a lot of unboxings of other ones, so I would probably try something else. Like, I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking to try Ipsy. Just doing my bottom lashes. I'm not going to be doing fake lashes today because I'm not actually going anywhere. I was just doing my makeup because I had an off day today. And it's Friday night and I'm not doing anything else. So I just wanted to get my first video done. This should be my first one. I don't think I'm going to post anything else before it. Because I have my new phone. Because before when I was filming, it just wasn't good enough quality. And I didn't want to start my channel with a video that didn't look good. And I wasn't really able to edit with iMovie because I didn't have enough space. But now I'm gonna be uploading mostly maybe once a week. It's not always gonna be once a week because of school. Now I'm just taking EO on my lip, and then I'm gonna be using Gothica by Kat Von D, the Studded Kiss lipstick. You can put this with another lip. Whatever you want to use, but I'm going to be using this today. Kind of like an orangish bronze color, so it's really going to complement the eyes. Then I'm going to be taking my Beauty Rush flavored gloss from Victoria's Secret in the shade Hautecocoa. And so I'm going to be using the setting spray just to finish off the look and finish off everything. This is the finished makeup look. This is the finished look with the hair. Also, please like this video and subscribe for more videos. Also, if you have any video suggestions, please comment below.